morning, everyone. Welcome to your regular podcast, Knowledge Empowers. As always, with you is me, Kat. 안녕하세요. Then we have Parush.
Hello, hello, hello.
And we have Kolat.
Dobré ráno. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I was wondering today because Kolat was so nice and he wrote us, I have a surprise topic for you ladies. And we have no idea what this surprise is about.
None whatsoever. No.
Yeah, true. First, I have those 3 fun facts, so let's go to those.
Let's hear them.
Oh, I cannot take this.
I'm gonna tease you.
Come on.
So first one is I would like to touch the topic I thought before, and it's about the dopamine. And I've said that when you are doing something bad or something what you don't want to, you get the dopamine hit as well. What I meant by that is that at that time, when you're doing the activity you don't like, the dopamine drops in your body. And as soon as it finishes, your dopamine levels are getting back. And that's the dopamine kick you get. It's in our joy episode. And these declines of dopamine are happening and you are feeling frustrated. So, this dopamine kick is not that really worth it at the beginning. But the thing is that it's related to activities you are doing and what it actually means for us. And there is book, Eat That Frog, or some other materials which you can read. And actually saying that for the activity you don't like, you need to do it at the same time. You need to do it one as a whole because of this dopamine drop. You don't want to stop and do the activity again because you will get several of these drops. The dopamine just levels back. But the activity which you like, you want to do again and again because of those dopamine spikes. So in translation, if you are about to wash dishes which you don't like, you need to do it whole. But if you're watching a movie which you like, you should stop it as frequently as possible.
So, okay.
Which is totally the opposite of our behavior. If we are doing something what we don't like, we are giving as many pauses as we can. And if we are doing something good, we usually do it in one go. So that's a way trick.
So no binge watching of Netflix series anymore.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
If you eat chocolate and you like it, you should postpone it. If you're drinking beer, you should postpone it. Give it a break.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
no,
yeah, and so many sad people right now around the world.
Or instead of postpone beer, you have more beer.
That's true. That's the waiting, before the waitress comes in and brings you a new beer. That's the waiting time, Which animal is the best predator? That's the second thing I want to share today with you.
Which animal is the best predator?
Best in what way?
Like they catch the most prey, the highest amount of prey. The percentage of them catching the prey is the highest.
Falcon?
It will be some kind of insect, won't it?
Parush is on a good way. It's dragonfly. It's dragonfly.
Dragonfly?
Dragonfly. They catch up to 90 or 95% of their prey because they are one of the few animals which do not chase the prey, but actually they figure out where the prey will be in the future and they will catch them at that spot.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's not like lion which is chasing a gazelle, but they will actually intercept their course of flight or something.
Oh.
Yeah. Be careful, dragonflies should be ruling us, but well.
Glad they are not 50 kilos heavy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True. Yeah, the other interesting fact about dragonflies is their wings, each of them behave independently. So one can be flying forward, the other one can be flying backwards, the next one can be flying left, and the other one can be flying right.
But that's better than a helicopter.
Yeah, that's definitely better than a helicopter. It can, it can explain a lot of things. Okay.
Now I know why I still like them. They are gorgeous.
True. And the last one is connected to yellow snow. There is a saying here, do not eat the yellow snow. It's more than valid in Antarctica. Although there is not enough people, there is a lot of penguins. So 3% of Antarctica snow and ice is made of penguins' urine.
Aww.
You know, so
Don't
be careful
eat.
when you're in the Antarctica.
Don't eat yellow snow.
You don't need it. Yeah. It's not worth it. Now that I tried it.
You just gave us these 3 super fun facts. I want to know how you're going to beat it with a topic that me and Baruch have no idea what the topic is going to be about.
It's going to be depressive disorder.
Oh no!
No. Well, I said what the topic is. Surprise.
Oh.
We are talking about emotions, so I told you we are gonna...
I am surprised, actually. I didn't expect this.
I had no idea there will be a trick in a trick.
Double
How
trick.
smart.
Yeah. Maybe some of you will watch now those few seconds when I said that it's surprise, and you will see the surprise in ladies' faces. But yeah, we are going to talk about the emotion called surprise. And the trick is that some of the psychologists and neurologists do not consider actually surprise to be an emotion.
Why is that?
Well, because they are connecting the surprise reaction or surprise emotion a lot towards the reaction on an element. So it's more of an instinct.
Mm-hmm.
They say that. So it's like, it's not an emotion because it doesn't have a bad or good results or something like that. Like if you feel joy, and you feel happy and you feel good. When you feel fear, you probably feel bad. But when you're when you're surprised, when you're shocked, there is no emotion. You're just waiting, basically, or not the emotion, but there is no like good or bad. You're just waiting for more input, and then you behave. Then you feel something. Then you choose. Yeah. So. But then there is the argument that, you know, the reflexes and all these stimuli takes much shorter time, that surprise can take a longer time. So it's still like we are here being fuzzy about the surprise. Mm-hmm. Do you have any memory connected to surprise?
Christmas.
I don't like surprises.
You don't like surprises? Mm-mm. Okay. Well, how come?
Even when I'm supposed to go and watch a movie, and you know how people say spoiler alert, I'm actually the person, I need to know the spoilers, and based on that I will make a decision whether I'm going to watch it or not. I'm gonna mention Fisher. He knows this so well, so he will actually take me through the whole movie, and then I go, yep, it's worth to watch it. Then I go watch it and I can fully enjoy it. And I also have few people who will, no, I'm not going to tell you because I would spoil it to you. And they don't understand, I need to know. Otherwise, I will not watch it. No matter, they can start like convincing me and I would go, no, and not until you tell me how it ends, no.
For me, the spoilers actually create even more curiosity because I want to see the path, how they actually got there.
Yeah.
So for me, I usually, when it's a story-based book, I read the last pages, how it ends, and I'm like, oh, this is mindfuck. How come they've ended there? And I'm going to read it.
Books, I don't check the end, but movies...
Yeah, because you're reading detective stories, you know, that's not a good way.
Correct. But movies, I need to know the plot. Otherwise, no, I will not. I will simply not watch it.
Baruch, what about you and the Christmas? You said that it's strongly connected to surprise.
Yeah, because like when you're a kid, you don't expect the presents to appear there magically. So it's so surprising, and it was a good surprise. And maybe that's why I like surprises still now, most of the time. So I have a good relationship with surprises.
She got lots of socks.
Yeah, I think my brain likes novelty and needs to be always, you know, engaged in something new. So I think that's why I like surprises.
Yeah, this is nice because we have here one and the other person, the other perspectives on it, and it goes hand in hand with research when it comes to surprises. You can have 3 outcomes: positive outcome, neutral outcome, or negative outcome. And these surprises are in contradiction to expectations. If you're surprised, you are not expecting it, and it's instantaneous. While when you're expecting something, the positive, neutral, or negative outcome, you already are somehow prepared. So that makes sense that when you are when there is something unexpected, you have higher emotional trigger. So when it comes basically to surprises and with like presents or something like that, you should not announce them beforehand. You should not expect them, because then the person is feeling higher joy. But when it comes to the negative outcomes, like for example, losing a job, or you need to go somewhere, somebody is sick, blah, 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 you should already build up sort of the expectations, because the emotion will be, let's say, less painful than with the surprise.
Basically, what we usually also see in corporation, many times, they actually don't want to communicate anything negative, and then when it happens, they just suddenly announce it and everyone is in shock. Versus what you're saying is they should communicate it even sooner, just to prepare people.
I think that, whoever is announcing it just chickens out, and it's difficult to announce bad thing, right?
It's not just difficult, you're afraid how the people are going to react. So you don't want to communicate.
Well,
you don't want to scare people, like we might be losing some jobs. We might be closing this department. You will be probably looking for some different job role. Maybe not. I don't want to communicate this until I'm sure it's going to happen, because, then I'm sure I'm not scaring anyone. But that goes against our bodies, against our logic. So it should be communicated based on these emotional triggers. We should communicate already as much as possible when it comes to that there might be some bad endings. You need to start communicate more frequently and more sooner about it. Like, okay, we are in this mode, in this decision. We don't know where it's going to bring us. No. There are positive outcomes, or there are positive outcomes. There are positive, or there might be some possible negative outcomes, and you need to discuss that again and again with your team to prepare them.
And it's basically goes hand in hand with the change, right? It's exactly whatever type of a change you're preparing, you should collaborate with your team and communicate about it. And also, on every leadership education I've been, the trainers do tell us, actually, even if the information is negative, you need to communicate it. People are afraid, and you can see whether it's the change, whether it's the negative information, the leaders, this is their weakness spot, that there is very few leaders who are capable to communicate such an information. I remember Kent in 2009 when there was a crisis, and he took over and he did amazing communication. He did share with us what's happening in the world, that there is currently economic crisis. And he also wrote that he will not release one single person. However, there will be lots of cuts, no bonuses, no salary raise, everything they can to cut to save us the jobs. And I was really astonished by that communication from him, because it gives you a little bit of a sense of pride, also belonging. Also, you knew, okay, I will still have my salary, but without all of these, beautiful things around, but I still will have a job, versus where many people were losing jobs. So I felt extremely proud of my leader who did such a communication. And I've never seen anything like that afterwards. So it takes guts from a leader to do that. But I admired him for that. I really admired him for that.
I totally agree, because you may feel that you are going to scare people, that you are afraid, that you are unable to handle the outcomes, that you are doing I don't know what. But then I've heard about stories when they announced bad news, and the people were so fucked up that they were unable to work for 2 or 3 days. And you don't want that. You don't need that. You're creating emotional stress for yourself, for them, and it's not helpful,
And how about the positive surprise? Are we supposed to use it in corporations? And if so, then how?
When it comes to positive surprises, my guidance is that do not come and say like, I have something to tell you at 2:00 tomorrow, but you need to wait for until then.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's so fucked up. I would punch anyone for doing that, because we are creatures of fear. We are trying to predict the uncertainty, the uncertain things, and everything what is uncertain is scaring us. If we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, whether it's going to be positive or negative, we are going to be fucked up throughout the day. So if you want to announce something positive and you don't want to spoil it, you tell them that it's something good. You do not say like, I have something to tell you. Tell them I have something good to tell you. Otherwise they will be like, what are they gonna do to us? You know, somebody's leaving or what? No, just say that something good, and that's gonna help.
I hate that. Then what is it? I'm not gonna tell you. Ah!
And your brain is working on it partially because we hate uncertainty. So that's one of the things our brain is like wired for. We want to be certain. So do not cause that. Do not do that. Do not do it to us, please. Actually, that goes hand in hand with memories. You know, surprises, when you are surprised about something, whenever it's positive or negative, it somehow is wired back in your brain. The thing is, surprise as an emotion or this connection to memories and everything is not that well researched yet. So there are just few studies on that, and they might be completely wrong. So whenever you are
Not yet
looking
discovered properly.
So if you're watching this video in 2033 or something like that, this might not be valid, okay? So, and that's a good hope. It's still valid. Anyway, so about these memories and surprises, it seems that if it's a positive surprise from long perspective, or when you're looking back to this moment of surprise with a positive outcome, you are more confident about the memories, about what was happening around you at that time when you've got this positive surprise. So, for example, when it comes that I've got this bicycle I ever wished for Christmas, or I've got this high salary bonus, you have this positive surprise, and the memories around that moment will be stronger, and you will feel confident, more confident about these memories. That's the thing. They're not stronger, but you are feeling more confident. But when it's the negative outcome, so losing a job, or I don't know, somebody died, or I don't know, you've lost your dearest bicycle which you got for Christmas, it seems that these memories, they seems to be still consistent, but they are having the form of trauma. They are having some slight colors into, like, they are slightly changing into trauma. So it feels like this moment is really bothering you and stick with your memory, like when you were traumatized by a huge event, you know. So when it comes to surprises, again, if it's something negative, you don't want to create a strong memory which people remember as a trauma. Surprise, surprise. But again, if it's positive, it creates this confidence. So why not, you know?
And we are just talking about surprise.
So I will go a little bit away from corporate world, but if someone has a personal topic and it will be a surprise for the person, a negative one, let's say very strong emotions of sadness, for example, somebody died, somebody close. So would you still suggest to go easy first and then say what happened, or would you just spill it out?
I probably would be preparing the person. I feel that there are some things which, you know, you should ease people into that slowly but surely. These strong emotions, because if you create a strong moment, it can, you know, make a mark within the person. You definitely take different that some person died if you know that first there were some, you know, diseases with the person, that they've had, I don't know, high cholesterol, or, you know, they've got some fever or whatever, and they are on a long-term bed. They're in bed for a long term, so for a long time. and then you tell that, okay, so next time it happens, okay, you are not really surprised that the person ended up in a hospital because, you already know that the person was sickly. So it makes sense that they ended up in the hospital. And this can happen several times. And if the person dies, you are not surprised because, you already have that history background. If somebody comes to you, and your best friend just died yesterday, like, what the hell just happened? It came so suddenly. What was wrong? And you're suddenly just thinking about it. But if you're prepared for that, or if you know about it, you can probably go directly to sadness, and you can skip this shock part. You will be just mourning the person. It wouldn't be that, oh, what just happened.
I remember when mom died, and we were thinking, how are we going to say this to my niece, right? She was 10. And it was me, my brother, his wife. We were sitting at the coffee, and we were like, how are we going to tell her? And I said, well, we have to give it to her straight away. But of course, the last 4 months, we were going to hospitals, so she saw, but how do you explain it to a kid? And then my sister-in-law, she told her, like, as we were visiting grandma in the hospital, and grandma died. And it was very interesting to watch the little one. She looked at her mom and she was, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to cry? It was so interesting, to watch. And she explained, well, it's up to you how you feel, but if you feel sad, yes, you can, and it's absolutely okay. But I think the emotions tried her more when the funeral happened, and that's when she saw so many people dressed in black crying, and that's when she cried as well. It was the first time to deal with such emotion. Interesting to watch.
There's so many things we can talk about that story, like how kids are. We can talk about the perception of kids when you were going to the hospital, the kid knew that you were going to the hospital or something is going on. So when you came up and grandma died, she was not that surprised because, there was already these expectations. And that goes also with divorce. Like, kids know that something is wrong. You can't hide it. If there is something wrong with you, they will know it. They will spot it. Stop it. Stop hiding it. That doesn't
Stop protecting them from something they already are aware
probably
of.
know. Yeah, they're much further than you think they are.
So today we really covered an interesting topic, surprise, and we were not expecting that. And I also didn't expect you can have these 3 variants, and then of course how to communicate it. If you guys liked it, give us a like, subscribe, leave us a comment, so we can further elaborate or not, depends on you. And with that, I'm gonna say 수고하셨습니다.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Choki.
This podcast represents our own opinions, experience, and our own ideas. We do not represent any official statement from our employers, and this is not their official channel representing the company.